Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. Yes, it's been a really exciting week with new things coming up, of course, with the cruise industry. And also really right too with a major holiday next week, of course, July 4th. So please celebrate that in great ways too. We need it more than ever. And also, it's been good as far as the weather here, and it's not as hot as it was before, but once again, it's good to kind of really see the sun all the time and like wearing orange. And I have a friend who always said, okay, orange, you glad I came, right? But anyway, I'm wearing orange today just because it's been very sunny, nice this week too. So anyway, as far as good things coming up in the industry, I had mentioned, of course, with Royal Caribbean, their biggest ship ever built, Icon of Seas, which actually debuted in January earlier this year, has the first chief dog officer on board. Her name is Rover. I've written about her. She is gorgeous. She's a golden retriever, and her name is Rover, and she's on the bridge, of course, not driving the ship with four paws, which is good. I don't think she's got a license, but anyway, Rover is a chief dog officer, and she's on the ship to really create smiles and happiness for people too. But also, what they're doing is their next Icon class ship is going to be coming out next year. The ship is going to be called Star of the Seas, I believe. And she's going to have another chief dog officer on board too. That chief dog officer's name is going to be called Sailor. Yes. But we're seeing a lot of interest as far as pets and dogs and things too. And something just came up this week I think I want to mention with you too. It's so great. We have in the cruise industry, in the travel industry, we have a lot of different host agencies and consortiums, but those are ones that people who want to sell travel, to get officially selling travel too, they can join a host agency, which helps them. And one that's been around for a long time is really fantastic, Cruise Planners. And around for a long time. I actually have had the pleasure of knowing their president for a long time. Know people work there, they love it. But what they do is they just announced this week they've got a new mascot. Well, guess what their mascot is? A dog. Yes. But they introduced a new member of their team, Max, which is Max the dog, okay, and DOG, but it stands for Director of Globe Trotting, okay? So it's not just DOG dog, it's Director of Globe Trotting. That is their new team member, Max, M-A-X. And what they're doing is Max is a terrier, and for their different charms and things too, and then making him the perfect face for Cruise Planners cutting edge technology. Max is more than just a plushie. Wise and witty traveler. He's got a bit of a British accent they picked up, and also different things too. What they're doing too is this new, of course, member of their team provides more than cuddles, and it's really creating just a great spirit for this host agency. It's a symbol of cruisitude, which is their mindset, but also what they did too is they mentioned that what they're doing is, Max really brings heart and soul to what Cruise Planners really represents: innovation, adventure, and personal touch. And so they created Max to not only showcase the capabilities of their CP Max CRM, but also helping different advisors too. And also what they're doing too is Max is more than just a big heart. For every Max plush sold, $5 is going to be going to Cruise Planners nonprofit CP Cares, which supports charities globally. So to purchase your own Max plush, you can contact Cruise Planners, which is great. And you can also find more about Max's backstory and adventures. And go to Max Adventures or Meet Max, but it's MAXX.adventures or Meet Max, M-A-X-X. So keep that in mind too. It's really great. This is actually a picture of Max with the president, of course, of Cruise Planner. She's great too. This is a picture of them together, so I want to share it with you too today. But that's Max. How cute, right? Something else coming up this couple weeks too is we have a new ship coming out. Okay, it's Royal Caribbean Utopia of the Seas, and Royal Caribbean actually officially took possession of her on June 14th. But once again, she'll actually be sailing out and being christened, I think, about 2 weeks. Okay, it's taken more than 2 years to really construct her, but once again, she is going to have their signature aqua theater, which is great, and also she's going to be sailing and sailing out of Port Canaveral, which is, like I said, about an hour and a half from Orlando, which is great too. So once again, it's great because once again you've got more choices as far as cruising, and sailing out of Port Canaveral is gorgeous, and they're building it like crazy, which is great. But once again, it's a great milestone. She's going to be debuting actually, okay, July 19th, and as mentioned, she's got different ways to dine and enjoy the ship. They mentioned 40 different ways to dine, drink, and celebrate. Also, they got more pools than the days to count, including ways to thrill and chill, and also be going to their private out island in the Bahamas. Perfect day Coco Cay, which is great too. Also, they got different ways to really chill out too. And once again, they've got their resort style and sloping beach entry pools, but different things too. Also, they've got their flow rider, surf rider, which is really great. Surf simulator. I've seen it, haven't done it myself. And different things. But once again, too, is they've got different ways to dine. One thing I think is really fun, too, is on this ship, they've got, actually, it's called their Royal Railway Utopia Station. And it's actually a first-of-kind experience, too, which is fun. And it's really giving that technology to really kind of transport travelers by train to any place and time period. Of course, you're not really on a train on the ship, but it's called the Royal Railway, which is their dining options, too. Also, they've got Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar. And they've got their first ever Gio's Terrazza, which is great, al fresco, and they've got their lively boardwalk. Plus, one restaurant I really think is really fun is their tiki bar. It's called Pesky Parrot, and that's their new Caribbean tiki bar, which sounds fun too. They've got live music, different events, different shows, full-scale productions. But I think the ones I would like to really experience myself too, I think it'd be fun to do that Royal Railway. Also, I think that Pesky Parrot would be fun to do too. So definitely keep that in mind too as you think about it, because she's coming out on July 19th in a few weeks, which is great. And they've got different things too, which is great. Something else that just ran across too is, we have different things going on as far as the airline industry too. And one I came across, which is really great, is Porter Airlines. Okay, they are based in Canada, and what they're doing is they just announced they've got some new nonstop routes that connect Montreal with California. They're actually based, of course, in Canada, but the fun thing about them Porter Airlines is actually, I did my master's in business administration at Loyola, Chicago, but I was actually on our alumni board at the Graduate School of Business for several years. And we used to do different really fun events, pulling in famous people that maybe had started businesses very successful over the years, and it was called So You Want to Be an Entrepreneur. We do it once every year, plus different fun events too, but we do one once a year. And I managed to pull in some really, really famous people myself too that I knew. One, of course, was, it's a great company, family business company based in Chicago, really well known, called Walter E. Smith Furniture. I had actually known Tim Smith for a while. He spoke one year. I also got some other famous people, but the last we actually were able to do it, we actually were able to get Robert DeLuke, who was the founder and president of Porter Airlines. He came down to be one of the speakers at our event, which is great too. And he's now moved up. His name is Robert DeLuke. And he actually is now executive chairman, but his son actually had been moved up to president. Now he's actually the chief executive officer, Michael DeLuce. And then Kevin Jackson's the president, which is great too. What they did was they just made some announcements, and they're inaugurating some new nonstop routes connecting Montreal, which are based out of in California, but they do flights out of Chicago too, which is great too. And they just launched some new seasonal nonstop routes connecting Montreal Trudeau International Airport with Los Angeles International Airport, also with San Francisco International Airport too. And they've got these seasonal routes that are going to be running until October 26th, which really gives people the chance to travel with seamless connection between Eastern Canada and, of course, the Golden State of California's vibes too, which is great too. And with Porter Airlines, they provide, what their service includes complimentary premium snacks, free beer and wine while served in glassware, which is great. They got free fast Wi-Fi for all passengers. Also, fresh, healthy meals are available on an all-inclusive basis with their Porter Reserve fares, okay? And they have state-of-the-art Embraer jets, which are great too. So definitely keep in mind too, something to keep in mind too, because once again, this is something new they just announced, but also Porter Airlines does fly out of Chicago areas, different airports too, to different locations. So definitely keep in mind, it's so fun to kind of see that again too, because of course it's been several years since I actually got a chance to first meet Robert Delouche, the president, moved up to executive chairman. But definitely keep that in mind too, because it's just another way to really explore different things too. Something else that just came out too is Explorer Journeys is launching their second ship, Explorer 2, in September this year. Got delayed a little bit, but they're taking care of people too, of course. What they're doing is they've got this, besides being more luxury high-end, bringing the ocean life to sea, which is great too, but they just announced they've got some special things they're doing with legendary explorer Mike Horn on the Explorer 1. Explorer 1 actually debuted last year. It's their first ship. And what they're doing is they announced some really unique destination experiences, which will be led by renowned explorer and brand ambassador Mike Horn. And from November 10th to the 20th, this year, guests on board Explorer 1 will be able to have the opportunity to really join Mike Horn on 2 different adventures, which is great, showcasing the beauty of Spain, and that includes La Palma Islands, also, I think it's pronounced Lanzarote. It's great too. And then during this maritime adventure, Mike Horn has actually traveled extensively, of course, too, in different most remote regions within the planet. And on board the Explorer 1, he's actually from Johannesburg. Explorer will share tales of his endeavors during this really enrichment on board talks. Also, he'll be passing on his information about mental and physical preparation. And like I said, the journey actually takes place November 10th to the 20th this year, departing from Barcelona, and that will actually be visiting the Canary Islands, Caldes, Gibraltar before returning to Barcelona, and also having the chance to really join 2 different exclusive destination experiences too. So I think that's fun too. So keep that in mind too if you're interested in that. So that's, as I mentioned, it's coming up on November 10th to the 20th. And Michael Horn, who's a well-known legendary explorer, is going to be on the ship, and people will be able to chance to meet with him and do different things with him too, which is great. And like I said, there'll be different areas for people to see too, which is great. Different small restaurants. And this special experience includes you can hike on the Harla Extreme Trail Running route with professional explorer Mike Horn. Stunning island panoramic views on the way. Lunch at the iconic Tikand restaurant. And also trek through really nature, ravines, woods, and then also rocky terrain too. And it really combines, once again, what Explorer Journeys does. It's just, land and sea together, which is great too. And like I said, people will be able to really delve into La Palma's beautiful beauty, history, and other things too. So keep in mind too, because it's really first time they've been doing it. That's great too. And of course, the Explorer 2 is currently under construction. She will be coming out in September this year. And I know with Explorer Journeys, they've got some other ships coming out next several years too. I think they've got 4 more ships after the Explorer 2 comes out this year. So keep in mind. Something else I'd like to talk about more too is with food options. Yes, food is always good on cruise ships because you have different options to embrace yourself and have great ways to eat, enjoy great food. Plus, the good thing is it's cooked for you, so you don't have to worry about cooking for yourself, which I like. And the Sun Princess just came out earlier this year. Princess Cruises, a new ship. What they did was they just they launched this new restaurant on board. It's a new dining experience on board the Sun Princess, and it's called Love by Brito. And it's a collaboration between Ronald Brito and Rudy Simon, and it features a 7-course menu that combines Brito's artistic flair with Simon's culinary expertise too. And the fun thing is with Rudy Simon, I've had the pleasure of really meeting him several times. We keep in touch. He's like a phone call away. He's really great. And he's actually head of the culinary arts for Princess Cruises, plus part of the other cruise lines that are part of Carnival Corporation too. But what they did was they mentioned they've got this 7-course menu that combines their both expertise, and the art of Romeo Brito makes people happy with his unique experience, an expression for the universal language of love, and his creation of really beautiful blends, and his culinary passion, of course, when it delivers high-end, meticulous, or curated menus for guests, which is great too. And he just mentioned, Rudy Simon mentioned, we're proud to see Love by Brito come to life with the Sun Princess guests, really celebrating this exclusive dining event, which is showcasing the harmony between food, art, and love. And Love by Brito is actually accommodates 68 different guests, so 68 seat restaurants on deck 17. And of course, it features Romero's, I guess, Romero, probably Brito's designs. 7-course menu includes oysters with lemongrass kefir, meringue, and gold flakes. Also, entrees will include creative heart-shaped dishes such as tuna and avocado with pomegranate. Also, wild mushroom soup. They've got beet and goat cheese salad. They've got lobster thermidor. They've got beef tenderloin with truffle juice. Also, desserts, which are really great too. Desserts include a heart-shaped chocolate lava cake, fresh berries, and raspberry cream. Also, assorted petit fours. And the restaurant, there's a cover charge. It's $78 per person. Once again, too, everything's specially cooked, whatever, too. It's really, really great. And you have to book it in advance through the Princess app, too. Also, they've got extensive wine lists, which is a la carte, of course. But they've got some new cocktails, and these are really kind of fun. Some new cocktails they've got at Love by Brito include Strawberry Love Potion. Okay, that includes tequila rosé. They've got the Disaronno Amaretto, Charbonne, and strawberries. They've got Espresso My Love. Yes, not just Express My Love, Espresso My Love. That was with the chocolate liqueur, Disaronno Amaretto, Demerara chocolate bitters, and espresso. And then they've got this really fun one too called Brito Coupe. It's Grey Goose, strawberry, and lemongrass. They got Cointreau, lime, strawberries, and also Apero. So those are some specialty drinks, the cocktails that are involved at this special Love by Brito restaurant. The cocktails, of course, extra, but that's kind of fun when you've got new restaurants with just great things to explore and enjoy too. As long as we're talking about dining, something else that just came out too is Royal Caribbean's got their, not Royal Caribbean, but Disney Cruise Line has their new Disney Treasure coming out. And they just announced they've got this special adult lounge that's themed to the Aristocrats and Guardian Angels Galaxy and Sweet Treats, but it's called Guardians of the Galaxy Dinner. And Disney Treasure food and beverages include different things. They've got this cat drink, yes, and the Scat Cat Lounge. They've got a carrot chocolate-covered strawberries at Chambeau's Sweets. A dinner experience, Marvel Celebration by Her Heroes, great remix Also got the Plaza de Coco. That's got special things too, but I got some pictures too. But I really think it's kind of fun when you see that picture of the cat drink in the Scat Cat Lounge. Here's some pictures, so enjoy please too. But look at the cat drink. Isn't that fun? But like I said, it's really fun when you think about this theme spot called Guardians of the Galaxy Dinner. A bit more about that too is the cat cocktails, of course, are really they're French style. They're served in, you can sip it in a special French style ceramic bowl, and also they got their like I said, the Scat Cat Lounge is actually located an extension of Disney's Treasurer's Grand Hall. Also, going back to the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think is kind of fun as far as dinner. And it's really, it's a Marvel-themed dining experience. And on the Disney Treasure, passengers on 2 different nights can actually enjoy Rocket and Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy films too. Also, they've got other night presentations include Adventures, The Quantum Encounter. They've also got Marvel Celebration of Heroes, Groot Remix. And then some other things they've got too is they've got this Plaza de Coco, which actually transports diners to the town that is depicted by the Pixar animation film Coco. Okay, so keep that in mind too. But I really think it's kind of fun when you think about different things to do and experience, of course, in the Disney Treasure. She definitely sounds like a treasure. Ding Dong by Disney. It's coming out later this year too. So something else too as far as dining is like we're talking dining. Of course, after my episode, you probably get very, very hungry and figure out what to have tonight for dinner. But also Oceanic Cruises, which is a really, really great cruise line, luxury. What they did was they're known for different dining experiences too, more luxury, and they've got really fine dining experiences, of course. But also what they're doing too is they just added more relaxed, still refined dining options on board their ships. One they mentioned was they've got their, they just introduced their sushi and Indian cuisine offerings in the Terrace Cafe. Also a revamped poolside lunch menu at Waves Grill. And they really explain, because once again, the finest dining doesn't always mean just the fanciest. It's also the best prepared pizza or really, enticing burrito dishes with a crisp glass of white wine maybe. Also, in addition to the daily sushi station and the Indian corner at the Terrace Cafe for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the venue's array of international cuisines expands further. As far as the sushi station, includes 45 new recipes that were created by Oceania Executive Culinary Director Chefs. I think it's pronounced Coretti, and also Eric Barrel, along with their team. And they've got 2 types of sashimi per day, plus 2 types of yamaki, 3 types of niguri, I think, and a daily vegetarian option too. And as far as the Indian corner, this new Indian corner operates once during every cruise during dinner service and features 15 different recipes. So once again, it's just really great too, because they've got different venues now for people to really kind of relax and offer more casual type dining, but still really, really fantastic food. Also, with Waves Grill, the poolside Waves Grill menu has been revamped. They feature more than 20 different options, including a new selection of cold sandwiches, plus hot sandwiches and burgers. Among them include their signature surf and turf Wagyu burger, and they've also got a new Philly cheesesteak hot sandwich, and shredded sirloin steak, provolone cheese, sauteed onions, bell peppers, and mushrooms. And these are all served now with a choice of French fries or sweet potato fries too. So that's at Waves Grill on board Oceanic Cruises ship. So definitely keep it in mind. But now I've probably made you pretty hungry, right? Well, besides those kinds of things, we've got some other things coming up too, which is great too. We've talked about places where we can actually sail out of. Okay, the Alaska season is taking place right now. It's a gorgeous place to go to. I've got a friend who is going to be sailing an Alaskan cruise with her family, 8 members, coming up pretty quickly this upcoming week. And she's really excited. Never been to Alaska, but with Alaska, there are options as far as where you can actually sail out of. Originally, Alaska, you had to sail out of Vancouver, or further north to in Canada. But then the cruise industry worked very hard with the Seattle, and they started offering some cruising from Port Seattle, which they built up like crazy. It's a beautiful port. I've had a chance to see it myself. Sailing, of course, to Alaskan cruises too. And what they announced was, it just came up this week too, is Carnival Corporation just worked out a special agreement with the Port of Seattle. So the Port of Seattle actually approved a 10-year agreement with the Carnival Corporation, and this is a preferential berthing agreement with Carnival Corporation, which includes Carnival Cruise Line, Princess Cruises, Han America Line, and Cunard, and they will continue to home port at Port of Seattle for the Alaskan season, which is great too. For 10 years, they've got this agreement already lined up, which is great, and they just announced it this week too. And it's really great because, once again, this agreement sets a 10-year term from this year through 2033, and they have the option of extending it for the 5 years too, which is great too. But once again, it's really great because, once again, Carnival Corporation has really been the shore power leader in Seattle. They've installed equipment for almost 20 years ago, and this really helps ports realize its ambition to have their shorts all plug in by 2027 using shore power there, rather than having to work their own gas. And which is great is they mention that with this, they working on other agreements too, but once again too is the company's vessels that represent 100% of the shore power connections of the port in 2023 is with the Port Seattle, which is great too. And I think it's good too because, once again too, with working with the port, it really helps them develop a pilot program for Seattle. It promotes and supports local tourism, diverse local travel suppliers too, which is great. And once again, this is a great way for Carnival brands to really seek ways to really promote and encourage passengers to stay in Seattle before and after their cruise, which is great too. And once again, it just is great too because I had a chance to sail out of Vancouver when I did my Alaskan cruise years ago, but that's when Port Seattle wasn't really available. But going into Vancouver from Seattle, I wound up taking a flight, I think, and I also was up there for different conferences. Actually took this really, really great train service, but it's about 3 hours. So once again, this is a good way for people to really enjoy Alaska and sail from the U.S. to Alaska and then come back to the United States too, which is great. I mean, Vancouver's a gorgeous city too. It's just a little tougher to get through as far as flights and things too. Once again, I know they mention, as far as the Carnival ships brands, they actually, in 2023, they actually had 140 ship calls at Seattle, representing more than half of their port business too. And I know that this year, 2024, they have 6 ships committed to sailing in the Seattle market. It's going to continue to grow too, so that's really great too, as far as a great partnership too. So definitely keep in mind, because once again, Alaska season is going on right now. It goes through the first part of September. Then the cruise lines reposition themselves because it's too cold, and they don't restart Alaskan cruises until probably 2025. It would be probably in May. So May to September is when you actually can take an Alaska cruise. So definitely keep that in mind because it is just so much fun to think about too. It's just beautiful. I definitely want to go back because you get a chance to see beautiful cities, Sitka, which is great, Juneau. Beautiful areas to go to too, and you can see, I saw whales the first night on my cruise, and of course Glacier Bay, which is great, and you can see the but just beautiful things to experience too, small little places to go to too, and the culture is fantastic, but such a beautiful area to see, and I definitely want to go back to Alaska sometime soon. So carefully in mind too, and like I said, as one mentioned, is you can actually sail, of course, now out of Port of Seattle and take an Alaskan cruise. You don't necessarily have to go up to Vancouver. I mean, Vancouver's gorgeous. I've been there for cruise conferences over the years too, but with the port of Seattle, it's easier. The port, the airport in Seattle is very, very easy to get to from the United States if you're a citizen, and also with the Port of Seattle, they're offering the same types of cities and Alaskan cruises you can actually go to, and it's just a way to kind of leave from the U.S., experience it, don't have to worry about the other hassle of getting to Vancouver. You don't want to go to Vancouver, but beautiful. So definitely keep it in mind. Something else that's kind of exciting news too is Crystal Cruises. Okay, what they did was Crystal Cruises has been around for a while, and what happened was they had gotten sold off to a company, and then after we went through the terrific bad issues, the terrible issues with COVID-19, of course, the parent company went under, and Crystal Cruises went under too. But what happened was the ships that Crystal Cruises had were actually bought out by Abercrombie & Kent, a division of them too. And what they did was they just announced they've got 2 new ships they're building for Crystal Cruises. They got 2 new ships, and they will accommodate 690 passengers. The 61,800 square gross registered tons. But what's great too is these are 2 new ships, and like I said, they plan to take possession of the new ship that's going to be delivered by the spring of 2028. And then the second ship, they have announced when she's going to be delivered. But Crystal Cruises actually is going to have 2 new ships, in addition to the other ships they've got right now that are already sailing, which is great too. And they're similar to ones that Crystal Cruises has had. They're similar to the Crystal Serenity as the Crystal Symphony. I had a chance to sail on the Crystal Serenity myself back in 2016. It was a phenomenal ship, beautiful. I mean, not real big, and everything was included, and it was just a great experience because once again, the people that I met on board that cruise were diehard Silversea fans, and a lot of them had never really sailed on other cruise lines. They really fell in love with it, and also the staff on board was just amazing. You could tell they were treated very, very well, and even when I was talking to one of the waiters, one of the restaurants, he flat out told me quietly that he worked on different cruise lines, but this was the best cruise line he ever worked for in his life. So happy to see that Crystal Cruises, we started with the 4 ships. They were taken over by Abercrombie & Kent, a division of them too, and now they're building 4 new ships. So once again, they've got different things they're including too, which is part of what Crystal Cruises is about. They've got different entertainment options that include they've got a new partnership with the Casino del Monte Carlo. Okay. Also, they've got the only Nobu restaurant at sea, which is great, and also they've got that recently announced beer bar or beef. Is it beef bar? I believe, yeah, beef bar. Okay. Also, they've got really great options as far as wellness and relaxation that are part of the new ships too. They've got their spa, also the state-of-the-art fitness center too, which is available to all the guests. And the families chilling with children can also appreciate their dedicated area designed especially for providing engaging activities for kids to use too, especially for space for younger guests too, which is great. And these new ships will be featuring all suite accommodations. They've got private verandas, including their popular single occupancy category designed for solo travelers, which is great too. And they're committed really to providing this high crew to passenger ratios, which is great too. And once again, some other things coming up too is they've got beautiful areas to actually stroll around the ship and have stunning views of the ocean. They've got world-class cuisine, of course. As mentioned, they've got the Umi Uma, which is the only Nobu restaurant at sea. Also, they've got their new, recently announced beef bar. And it just looks really, really beautiful because once again, I know that the ships were actually refurbished in 2023 when they were bought out, which is great too. So once again, definitely keep it in mind because once again, getting the excitement of new ships coming out, which is great too. And these are 2 new ships that Crystal Cruises is going to be, they're they just signed the deals to build these ships, and the first one is going to be coming out in spring of 2028. And Fincantieri is going to be building these new ocean-going classic ships too, so keep that in mind too, because once again, the building with the new ships is really exciting too, but also with Crystal Cruises, having first sailed on Crystal Cruises myself in 2013, I've written about them extensively. It's really good to see that they are coming back in a very, very strong way, and then, of course, expanding and building new ships, too, which is great, too. So definitely keep that in mind, okay? Something else is a really fun thing, too. When we think about different river cruise lines, I've mentioned those before, but river cruising is great as far as options if you want to maybe do river cruise in Europe, of course. But they also offer, some cruise lines offer river cruises on the Nile River in Egypt, which is great. Also, something coming up later on, end of this year, maybe next year, is actually with AMA Waterways, because they're doing some things on the Columbia River in South America. I'll be sharing about that a little bit later on, too. I plan to write about that futurely, too. But also, you have American Cruise Lines, which is sailing out of the U.S., which is great. Another one relaunching, of course, next year is actually another cruise line that they had actually been kept by somebody else, and then that cruise line, of course, went under. But once again, the previous start of that cruise line actually bought 2 ships that's coming out next year. I'll share more about that later too. But something else came up too recently is with AMA Waterways, and they're introducing their AMA Lilia on the Nile, and they just debuted their AMA Lilia on the Nile River. And with this particular ship, it's 82 passengers, guests on board, and this 11-night Secrets of Egypt and the Nile cruise and land experience includes a 7-night round-trip river cruise from Luxor, and is paired with 3 nights pre- and post-cruise, longer stays in Cairo, also St. Regis, which overlooks the Nile River too. And something else about this too is it really provides, the good thing is, in this case, really few countries really grip the imagination quite like Egypt. Okay, it's got massive pyramids, they've got secret tombs, they've got colorful markets, and of course that beautiful Nile River, which looks great too. And what they've got is they've got 2 beautiful ships that are really traversing on this picturesque stretch of river on round-trip cruises from Luxor, including 2 nights in S1. And the AMA Lilia offers 41 different staterooms, and they have panoramic views. They include 13 suites that measure up to 522 square feet. Amenities, of course, include a sun deck bar, swimming pool, fitness room, hair and nail salon, a massage room, and 2 restaurants serving locally inspired cuisine. There's nightly entertainment, and of course what's great too is each cruise is actually accompanied by Egyptologists who stay on the ship and the excursions. And the AMA Lilia is seasonally sailing from September through June each year. And they just announced that. I don't know if she's sailing right now on the Nile River or not. I think she is right now, but she'll be going through September, which is great too. But it's called their Secrets of Egypt and Nile program, 11 nights, and that does include the 7-night river cruise from Luxor. It's paired with 3 nights pre and post, and then 1 night post-cruise stays in Cairo, and of course at the prestigious St. Regis overlooking the Nile River, which is great too. I've never had a chance to go to Egypt. My parents did, and the pictures they shared, they just went there on a tour trip too, but the pictures they share with the pyramids was just absolutely amazing. And it's just a great way to really kind of experience things from history too. So definitely keep that in mind because it sounds fantastic. I really think it's wonderful that they're doing this too. And once again, it's just another way to kind of relax and just enjoy the Nile River and be able to see different things too, experience it. Plus, what I like about this one is they're doing the 3 nights pre-cruise stay first and a 1 night post-cruise stay, so you can actually relax when you get off the ship at the end of the cruise. Just relax before you actually fly back, which is great too. So definitely keep that in mind. Something else to think about too, because it's once again about the river cruise industry. What I really like about that too is it really gives you options as far as being able to explore the different beautiful cities in Europe, and then you don't have to worry about doing a tour where you have to switch hotels every night, repack, unpack, repack, unpack, because once again, these river cruise line ships are your floating hotels, so to speak, and they're smaller because you have to get through the rivers. A good example, of course, is with the Lilia, because she offers just 41 different staterooms, and based on double occupancy, that would actually be 82 passengers on board the ship. So it's not huge, and smaller, great experiences too. So definitely keep that in mind, because I think that's a wonderful option to think about more than ever. Okay, something else. We talk about river cruises in the U.S., and as mentioned, one is American Cruise Lines. They are family owned, been around for several years. Plus, they also own the company that builds their ships too, which is great. And so it's family owned, plus the family actually owns the company that builds their ships too. And they've been very, very successful, which is great too. But once again, we've got American Cruise Lines, and U.S. based, of course, but they just mentioned they've actually announced they've actually tripled summer Hudson River departures too. So they're right now just completing the first of several new summer season Hudson River voyages, and they're going to actually more than triple their departures in 2025. So if you think about maybe doing cruises within the U.S. and river cruises too, definitely think about American Cruise Lines, because they're phenomenal, and they've been doing this for several years. Plus, they're family owned, and they actually have their own Chesapeake building center, which builds their ships too. But once again, they just mentioned, the update was they mentioned May and June are just wrapping up now. So once again, they have they were testing out early summer sailings in May and June, and they've got a new 8-day Hudson River Summer Classic itinerary round trip New York. This offers views of Manhattan's famous skyline, which is gorgeous. They sail right by the Statue of Liberty. Oh my gosh, I've seen that myself too. It's amazing. And they visit Catskill, Albany, Kingston, Hyde Park, West Point, and Sleepy Hollow, New York. And of course, New York City excursions are included. And then the new Summer Classic itinerary, which is similar to a popular fall foliage cruise, offers beautiful excursions to cultural sites throughout the Hudson Valley. And the summer harkens back to a time when summer sojourns were through this region were really, really very popular too. Also, they mention they've got Pier 81 departures too, so definitely keep in mind. The new cruises also are really convenient for New Yorkers, because they have ships that depart from Pier 81, which is off 41st Street, several blocks away from the Intrepid Museum. And they've got cruises that operate on the ships with balcony accommodations. They've got indoor and outdoor lounges. They've got walking tracks, water views from also every space on board. And over the past century, 10 years, the Hudson River Valley has really been home to U.S. presidents, titans of the industry. They've got illustrious artists, and the region is really swept with history and a lot of historical sites too. Plus, they've got guided tours too, which is great, and they're led by local guides, which is great too. I think that's fun, because once again, it's good to have local guides that take you different places, because they have a pulse and feel of what that really is as far as experience having lived there themselves too. It's just a great way to really kind of experience it too, because once again, with American Cruise Lines, they've got guided tours, but they're led by local guides and experts. They lead passengers to places of interest. They include, of course, West Point Military Academy, the Franklin Roosevelt's Presidential Library. They've got the museum in Hyde Park, the Vanderbilt Museum, and Lyndhurst. Also, this trip includes a guided exploration of New York City that includes the World Trade Center experience, opportunity to visit the Sleepy Hollow, where Washington Irving's, famous novel, The Legend of the Sleepy Hollow, was written while Irving was actually on the banks of the Hudson at his home in Sunnyside. So that's really fun too to think about too. And these are just wrapping up, but they will be doing them again too. I know that they usually do these traditionally late September and October for fall, and then but right now they're just finishing up. I'll be doing these more again too in September and October. So definitely keep that in mind, because once again, with American Cruise Lines, they're really great company, family owned, and been saying it for so many years. Plus, their ships are very, very small, and just really a great way to really kind of experience the rivers in the United States too. So definitely keep that in mind, because once again, kind of fun that they've got Pier 81 departures, okay, because it's convenient for New Yorkers, and they just depart from Pier 81, which is off of 41st Street, and that's just a few blocks south of the Intrepid Museum too. So definitely keep it in mind, because once again, you know, with the river cruising in the United States, there are different options out there too. We think about the Mississippi River, of course, it's beautiful, but different options to think about too as far as that's concerned too. Also with sailing within the Great Lakes too, that's another option to think about too. Definitely if you're thinking about that too. And because it's just kind of fun to think about that stuff too. It's just great to think about options out there too if you want to just maybe try something with sailing within the U.S. too. Something else that's coming up too is Victory Cruise Lines. They are restarting, and it sounds really exciting. They'll be restarting next year, 2025. Victory Cruise Lines was actually one that was part of American Queen Voyages, and then American Queen Voyages, the problem is their parent company went under, Hornblower Group, and they sold off the ships to other companies. But what they did was Victory Cruise Lines had 2 ships. And what they did was John Wagner, who was a co-founder of the cruise line back when it's called American Queen Steamboat Company, actually, then they transitioned the name to American Queen Voyages. But what happened was he actually bought the 2 Victory Cruise Line ships, and they are relaunching, of course, next year, which is great, 2025. And they are going to be sailing, I think, in the Great Lakes areas, 2 different areas too. I had a chance to actually see one of their ships in, I think it was actually 2022, 2023. It was great when she was first trying to sail on the Great Lakes too. So it's great because they are going to be launching in next year, which is great. And they're copying the name. Of course, it can be going back to the Victory Cruise Lines. They're smaller ships too, which is great. So I think it's really fun to think about that too, because you know, he bought the 2 ships, and they'll be restarting, of course, Victory Cruise Lines, and that'll be coming up in 2025. So that's great too. So keep that in mind too, because another option to think about later on too. But when I had a chance to be on one of their ships, I think it was 2022. It might have been the first part of 2023. Beautiful experience. It was amazing just to see the ship during the day when she was docked at Navy Pier in Chicago. So definitely keep that in mind too. And then something else. Mark, didn't know if you have any questions for me or not, but we've got great things going on too as far as cruise lines that partner with different companies, of course. We see that a lot too with partnering too as far as entertainment, cuisine, shows, and that's really fun too. But one thing that's fun too is, has anybody ever tried to play piano? I didn't, okay? I played different instruments, of course, in grade school, a little bit in high school, but I'd always wanted to play the piano, didn't really make playing piano lessons myself too, but one thing that came up too is there's a really, really fun partnership is going on now with the Sea Cloud. Okay, Sea Cloud Cruises, which is great. They're a fantastic company. They have smaller ships, and right now they're going to be revamping one of their ships, which is great, but they just announced something fun coming up with Steinway Piano. And the fun thing about Steinway Pianos is I had a chance to actually see one of their locations for Steinway Pianos back in 2022. I was actually invited to be on the christening of the MSC cruise ship, And what they did was they had media people stay another day, and we had a chance to see the Steinway piano area in New York, which is great. And the fun thing they did too was with Steinway Pianos, they actually partnered with MSC Cruises, one of their sister companies and the parent company under MSC Cruises Group, but Explorer Journeys actually has Steinway pianos on their ships too, on their ship. But what's great too is with Sea Cloud Cruises, they're really, they have three tall masted luxury ships, okay? And what they're doing is they're really transforming their lounge experiences in the Sea Cloud 2 and the Sea Cloud Spirit. They're going to actually be including some exclusive concert venues for renowned and up-and-coming talents from the Steinway artist family. And the Steinway piano's amazing what they do. They actually can self-play. But on these special cruises that are taking place on Sea Cloud Tall Ships cruises, which is great, what they're doing is each lounge on these two different ships, the Sea Cloud 2 and the Sea Cloud Spirit, are going to be home to beautiful Steinway & Son piano on board as two windjammers sail side by side on this memorial musical voyage from Malaga, Spain to Las Palmas, Gran Canaria, on November 2nd to 11th this year in the fall. And the selected artists on board are going to come on board and really dazzle the guests with different using the exquisite Steinway pianos, which is great. And it's really good too, because once again, they mentioned that with Sea Cloud Cruises and the Steinway & Sons, it really is a great mixture of ways to really kind of combine that rich history of superb craftsmanship and also dedication, but also delivering the highest quality experience, which is great too. Plus, connoisseurs will love, of course, sailing and music, okay? And the special voyage, as mentioned, is coming up November 2nd to the 11th. And the special sailing with Sea Cloud 2 and the Sea Cloud Spirit together, they'll be passing the Rock of Gibraltar during their Moroccan coastline to the Canaries, which are going to be accompanied by these fantastic, talented pianists on board, which are going to really create a great experience for guests too. And this 9-day itinerary begins in Malaga, Spain. It's going to be featuring the Gibraltar, Tangier, a day under full sails together, Casablanca, also full sails side by side with Agadir, okay, and also they've got Las Palmas, and they've got additional 2-day overnight program from Casablanca to Agadir, November 6th to the 8th, which is available for additional cost, of course, too. But it's great because they mentioned the artists on board. They gave some names. Don't recognize them, but it sounds fun because when I had a chance to actually go to the Steinway piano location in New York City, they had people play for us, which is great. Plus, the Steinway pianos actually can play themselves too, which is great too. But beautiful, amazing. They had people play the pianos too for us. And it was gorgeous. Just a good way to relax and enjoy. But they've got the artists on board the Sea Cloud Spirit include Chris Hopkins and David Blenhorn, and they are adept at piano and also saxophone. Hopkins was actually born in Princeton, New Jersey. He's now based in Germany, and he really impresses with his musical creativity, also immersive drive, and with his swinging melodic style, he has really been renowned. Okay, as far as intercoastal jazz too, which is great too. And then Butch. They mentioned too. The other person is the David Blenhorn, and a bit more about him. Let me look here real quick here too. Butch has played more than 40,000 concerts. No, 4,000 concerts worldwide. He's contributed to approximately 50 different CD productions. Many have been awarded different awards too, which is great. And that's great too. But I mean, to have pianists like this play and entertain you too on these Stanley pianos is fantastic.
Yep, amazing things happening as always. We've got great things happening in the cruise industry and everything. And I figured we go out with your favorite guys, the brothers that
Right.
got the ship and everything, since we've not played that one in a while. And I know they're already running those ships and everything, but it'll still be a fun one to watch whenever you're ready to close out.
That's
But
fine.
no
You know,
rush.
I definitely I didn't get a chance. I was on the celebrity set last year. I was on the pre-Christmas cruise, and they were busy. Okay, I mean, I get a chance to meet. It's like, darn it, I want to meet the brothers, right?
Yep.
What they do is I think they take turns on and off the ship too, but it's great that they actually are the two co-captains, which is great because they're brothers, and they seem like they're having a great time. Also, the video actually is when Lisa Lutemperlo is actually present. She's moved up different role. She has published her new book, which is great. She's going a different area too. But once again, I got a chance on that pre-Christmas cruise to meet Lohanges Beth Shee, who is the new president of Summer Cruises, and she's fantastic. But the two co-captains just sound fantastic. I mean, captains tend to be very, very effervescent too. I mean, when you think about they're busy driving the ship, another good example, of course, is with the only woman American captain of cruise line ship, Captain Kate McHugh. She's gorgeous. She looks like the one actress. I mean, a gorgeous person, just amazing person, great personality. But they know she's got a great story. She actually took her first cruise when she was 12 years old
Yep.
with her parents, and then she came back. She told her dad, "When I grow up, I want to be a cruise director." Her
Oh,
dad
yeah.
said, "Kate, you can do anything you want to do." She got into the Maritime Academy herself. She graduated, had a hard time finding a job. She kept applying, didn't get anywhere, and then she actually applied to be a bartender. But they saw her credentials, and that's how she actually got her first job working on a cruise ship, not as a bartender, something else. But she's great. But once again, these captains on board these ships are just amazing, and just they do amazing things. And you know, they're busy because they're navigating the ship, of course, being very, very safe. But amazing that they get everything done and beyond that too. And they work very hard, but they've got great personalities. And that's why I think it's great to end with the two co-captains on Celebrity Cruises' newest ship, the Ascent. They've got more ships coming out too, of course. But the Ascent was just gorgeous when I got a chance to see her and be on their pre-christening cruise back November. And I got off on December 1st when she's christened. So let's definitely end with that too. That'd be great.
I am thrilled to be here today to announce the captain of Celebrity Ascent, the Amazing Edge series. They bring their own spirit and energy to the ship and our crew. And so I would like to eliminate all the suspense and announce that the captain of Celebrity Ascent is Captain Kafagis. Oh, did I forget to say there are two of them? For the first time ever, Celebrity Cruises has two captains. So gentlemen, I happen to know you both really, really well. We've worked together for 15 or 16 years. And a lot of our guests have sailed with you, and some of them know a little bit about you. But they nor I know a lot about you. So let's roll video and learn about your amazing lives.
My name is Dimitrios Kafagis. I am from Port of Athens, Piraeus, in Greece. I graduated the Captain's Academy of Syros, and I am a captain with Celebrity Cruises for the last 19 years. 33 years altogether at sea with Celebrity Cruises. My personal milestone and best moment was when I became a captain at the age of 36, being by then the youngest and by far the funniest captain on the fleet, only to live enough to have my brother breaking this record at the age of 34. Bless you, Tassos. I will never forget you for this. My relationship with my brother can be described as father-son relationship and not brothers, since we have 11 years difference with Tassos. I know my pretty face fool you, but there are 11 years difference. When I first heard that I was going to be the captain of the Ascent, and together with my brother, two brothers, to start a ship for the company we love.
My name is Tassos Kafagis, and I'm a captain on board Celebrity Cruises. The reason I came to the maritime industry is because of my brother. He's my role model. I was so influenced by him, so I applied for Celebrity Cruises. that my brother was working already. And I joined Celebrity Century back in 1998 when she was brand new. And I moved on, and 25 years later, here I am as a captain. Since we became a captain, we didn't have the opportunity to work together, and we're always saying how fun it would be if we could do a contract together, even as captains. Now, to do that together with an opening of the newest vessel of Celebrity Cruises, it's like a dream come true.
When he first became a captain, I gave him a Mont Blanc pen and a Warren bead with a cross and an evil eye, and I said to him, have it in your pocket, and when you think that you are helpless, just put your hand in your pocket, rub it, and you're gonna be there.
You mean this one? That's you?
Yep.
Him.
I will say that I might be the prototype, but he is the newer, better version. Captain 2.0, if I may say.
He changed the way captains interact with their guests and the crew. He opened up a big window for all the captains to follow.
Not only congratulations, but thank you. It's such a pleasure and an honor to work with both of you every day, and I can't wait to be on the stage with you on Celebrity Ascent.
Yes.
I bet, knowing the two of you, you are going to have a lot of fun with the guests.
When we both would be dressed up as captains on the ship, I will go talk to them first, and then I claim that I had to go, leave, and Tassos come back, and carry on what I started, and see if they're going to pick it up. And I guarantee
Are they going to get a prize or something if they do pick it up?
They're going to get a dinner with the captain.
Oh, how fun! There you
With
go.
this captain.
With that captain.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard. This is your captain, Captain Cafetzis of the Celebrity Ascent.
No. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard. This is your captain, Captain Cafetzis of the Celebrity Ascent.
No, this is your captain, Captain Cafetzis of the Celebrity Ascent.
No. This is the captain, Captain Cafetzis of the Celebrity Ascent.
Τι κάνεις εδώ πέρα, ήρθες στο καράβι να μου κάνεις το καφετέρι. Αυτά που λες τώρα,